I trust this will suffice.
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar! A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Oh.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same. Your kingdom will perish alongside you. By my hand.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence!
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs.
Okay, I'm gonna do a dual wielding axe.
And only a king
I know this is really not good because we're supposed to take streaming super seriously, but I do kind of want to watch this Jets game. Holy shit, he's breaking off a Bryce Hall, just breaking off a brick run. Oh, almost getting into the end zone. Jets Bills. Perk Rogers. Not gonna lie, I'm slowly becoming a Bills hater. Only because people think Josh Allen's better than Lamar. All right, I have it playing in the background. Pretty poor throw. His last fight fucking beat me down. I am not going to lie to y'all. Last thing I remember is we just beat the goddamn dragon. That was tough. That was tough business. Okay, so we gave Grease the goddamn power, but he's not a follower. Or at least not yet. Seeing people on normal. don't really see too many people on hard. Nox Karos on easy made it to level 10 somehow. You know what? What I was thinking as I was playing, you probably get more levels instead of, even though they're easy enemies, you probably get more levels from fighting and beating them that way than just like clearing the enemies out. Because as you can see on the board, there's a couple 878s, right? And where is my team at?
What now?
We're 979. We're only, Stroll's only 7 because he died that last fight, so he didn't get any XP. So we're 979. We might have been able to get to 1087 if we did more fights, like more squad fights. Just something that's been on my mind I was thinking about. Greece has a lot of HP and a lot of NP. Reduce the magic cost of studying the mage lineage, which would be nice. The voices of followers can now be heard even from far away. I don't know what that means. Oh, you know what I did say I was gonna do? We have to look at lore. It's been a minute. We haven't tapped into the lore of this game yet. Yeah, you know what? I got myself some waffles that had peanut butter and syrup all over them. Nice thick. Something to sit on my stomach. Pause. I got plenty of water to hydrate. I got about half a gallon left. I haven't been drinking as much as I should, so. Reduce the magic cost of studying the warrior lineage. I don't know what that means. When Stroll attacks a human type monster, critical rate increases. I don't know if that's good or not. Moore has quite a few ranks, quite a few things to give. Allows the party to change archetypes once unlocked in academia. Reduces the match cost of studying the Seeker. Increases skill inheritance slot for the Seeker lineage to 2. Okay, skill inheritance. The archetype tree becomes accessible from the main menu. And I keep saying that. Fairy fruit blend, whatever that means. Nothing. Oh, like favorite dish, fruit blend. Okay. Hidden village, Halia village. Having discovered Louis' hand in the tragedy of his hometown, Stroll awakens to his archetype and vows to fight alongside. Ability details. Okay, yeah, we see that. Research takes priority over eating. Fantasy light novel author met in academia. Though he has lost his memory, he burns with passion for archetype research. So apparently he's lost his memory. That's what we're going with. What a fucking juke. Looking like Houdini. Just say, looking like Lamar. But we have so much lore to go through. I think we'll start with nature and then we'll go to culture because they're the shortest one. Then we'll like tap into magic, people, and then we'll save history for last. Okay, this shouldn't be too tedious, I hope. An English, an enigmatic and powerful creature reigning supreme at the top of the ecosystem. King of all monsters, they are known as dragons. With their overpowering strength, they could wipe out an entire fleet of military gauntlet runners as easily as breathing. Best to not get on their bad side. Well, that kind of lets me think that we're probably going to have to fight this dragon later on. We fought him and we didn't kill him, he escaped. So we're probably most likely gonna have to fight them at a later on date. And because we fought them already, there's gonna be no option for us to like squeeze on by and escape. They're gonna fucking cook us. Many are believed to possess colossal scaled bodies with membranous wings and raptor-like talons. But due to lack of personal encounters, the exact details remain unknown. In some areas, they are thought to be mythic creatures of legend and are even revered on occasion as gods. Human. Unknown monsters with bizarre forms unlike any natural beast. Their bodies hold immense amounts of volatile magla, and they rampage through the surrounding indiscriminately. Despite their berserk nature, marking little sign of intelligence, they can wield advanced magic beyond the grasp of all sentient beings. Many aspects of their biology and ecology remain a total mystery. Given their unnatural physical resilience, large specimens can wipe out entire armies. Although there have been sightings of humans since antiquity, actual encounters are incredibly rare, and they have long been dismissed from being any real threat. However, recent years have seen them appearing with more rapid frequency across the Crown's lands, which has the people uneasy. I do like the picture that they have for the human. That being our first interaction with them, that thing is definitely crazy. Now, are we counting the small little, is that egg thing also a human, or is that just like, I don't know what that could be. Okay, Magla Hollow. Magla is not uniformly concentrated in the atmosphere, existing more like patches of smoke or fog in the air. As such, Magla is dense in some areas and extremely thin in others. One could say the Magla was hollowed out. Such areas provide reprieve from especially dense Magla, as the likelihood of encountering organisms affected or frenzied by Magla is significantly lessened. Third. Okay, so Magla Hollow is basically the safe rooms, humans. I do love the fact that we're talking about humans as a whole being, right? And they're just these like crazy maldeformed, monstrous looking beings. Oof, overthrew that motherfucker like a monstrous looking beings. They're just, I don't know. And then the dragons are pretty cool. Dragons are pretty cool to talk about. How am I liking this game? Sushi, the game has been fun so far. First two, this is my third day playing. So the first two games have been like quite the journey. I'm not gonna lie to you. They have been quite the journey. The beginning was just the tiniest bit of slow. I was thinking it was very predictable, and I was kind of a little uninspired by the writing and the story that I've seen so far. But as I played, the gameplay sucked me in real bad. And after just coming off of beating Persona, you can definitely see the similarities, heavy similarities. But that's what makes it so good. Persona is a great game, and this game has been pretty good so far. Combat fun, story has been fun. Writing, like I said, it's a bit predictable, but still fun nonetheless. I tried to play it on the hardest difficulty, which is like Regicide or something like that, and it wouldn't let me. It only let me play hard. So I'm playing on hard difficulty, the hardest difficulty you get to play on your first playthrough. But it's still challenging, like really challenging. Not the first human fight, well, if you're in stream, you're probably going to see a little bit of spoilers here and there, but not the first big fight, but the second and third big fight in this game are challenging, very challenging. But the gameplay allows you to be a bit expressive with your team choice, and I do like that. I like that when games decide to do that. Okay. The book Zosar carries with him. It is a memoir-style novel depicting a country with neither magic nor a notion of tribes, where people are not discriminated by birth, quite literally a fantasy world. And we've talked a little bit about this. They've hinted about this novel quite frequently throughout this story. What they're depicting in this novel should not at all in the slightest be a fantasy world, but in game and in real life it is. It was designated as a forbidden text by the Sanctus Church 10 years prior, and most copies are thought to have been burned, making it hard to come by in present day. It is a well-bound book that would be unusual for a commoner to own. Oh, so now there's a little bit more backstory on this book. These books, and I'm guessing many others like them, were burned. Maybe that's why the author doesn't have his memory, because his works were destroyed. Which is why he feels an affinity towards us, because we're one of the few people left with his books. I like that. I like that. We read Sanctism. We read that early on. Recruitment Center. A center located in every city for people to apply to join the army. For those without family or means, volunteering is one of the quickest ways to earn money and social credibility. Recruitment is not always open, but concerns about public safety due to the sudden death of the king, as well as monster outbreaks in the area, has led to an unusually long recruitment period in the royal capital, which is why we were able to just walk in the city and become recruited right then and there. Apparently we had paperwork that showed that we were an orphan, but I think those are fabricated. Okay, let's talk about the magic that they have going on. Quite a bit of lore that we have to read through. You don't have to, but I do want to get into the lore, especially of this game. Sushi, if you're still here, how are you doing? How have you been doing? I see you stream fairly often. I haven't popped in a stream recently though. I think the last stream I had popped in, I'm trying to think what you were playing the last time I had popped in. I don't think I can remember. It might have been that that series game you were talking about where I had a couple characters that I did enjoy, but how's he gonna try to make this tackle and his helmet pops off? Oh, I see. Okay, a general term for the technique that consumes power to cause phenomena that bend the laws of nature. It has a wide range of applications, from modest use in daily life to destructive power in war. However, as magic igniters, which require a state permit for ownership and use, are required for people to be able to use magic, many cannot wield magic. Okay. The technical term for magic power that serves as a basis for magic. There are varying amounts in all things found in nature, including people, plants, and animals. Because magma sometimes crystallizes in areas of high concentration, some scholars theorize that magma may be physical particles too small to be seen with the naked eye. I like that they have this, because as we're going through the game, you can see in some areas that there are like a lot of these things roaming around, whereas in other areas there aren't any, like in the safe room, or the something hollow is what they call it, the magma hollow. Okay, magma crystal. A crystallized cluster of magma that forms naturally in places where high concentration are left to fester. Though scholars have recently developed methods to create them artificially, the color of the crystals depend on the formation process and its impurities. High purity, natural crystals are indispensable in producing high performance igniters. As a result, some value them higher than gems and precious metals. Areas where crystals are abundant are often claimed in the name of the crown as mining sites. That's where we were just at. However, people have long whispered that magma crystals are dangerous to those who deal in them. Such statements are largely regarded as hearsay because there is little evidence to support it, but Recently, even the state army has grown more cautious with them as reported incidents are on the rise. Now, this is something that's very common, right? If you have a rumor or hearsay, as the game puts, spreading around and going around, as the older generation, and you know, in an army sense, as people who are in the army end up retiring, some end up killed in action, some end up missing, right? You end up with a lot more new people, a lot more people who have had more time to be influenced by the public. So these ideologies low-key start to seep their way into these hardened, reformed areas, right? That's why people, especially nowadays, don't like the woke agenda, because they feel like the new generation is too woke, quote unquote. It's seeping into everyday life, and you know, really at the end of the day, people just don't like change. So they feel like this woke agenda is, ooh, touchdown for the Jets. They feel like this woke agenda is, oh, there's a flag. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted. They feel like there's a woke agenda that's interrupting society as a whole. Holding's gonna take that touchdown back. Okay. Minuscule fragments of magma crystals that accumulate in the bodies of animals and magical beings in areas where magma is dense. Though they are of little use to ordinary citizens, there is a system in Grand Trad where people can sell their fragments. As a result, some people, like soldiers, who work gives them ample opportunity to leave the city, carry a bag to collect them instead of throwing them away. Nice little way of currency, I see. Not bad, not bad. Alright, Royal Scepter. An ornate cane-like scepter passed down through generations of the Ukrainian royal family. Proof of their right to rule. Oh, drop. A magical instrument of extraordinary capabilities, powerful enough to induce natural disasters. It can only be wielded by the king in the popular termed royal magic it commands, serves both as a pillar of the king's authority and a deterrent to war. Consequently, any king of Ukrainian must be well versed in magic, and the boon of royal lineage is not enough to ensure succession to the throne. Historically, there have been many cases where an offshoot member of a prince family has become king, when the bloodline's most direct inheritor was judged not to have enough magical aptitude to truly wield the royal scepter. So this is when a kingdom values power over everything else. I don't think this is the best way to rule, but if you're in maybe like a small city and you want like the town's brute to lead them because he has community in mind, then I think, no, even in scenarios like that, sometimes it's not the best. I think to make a good leader, they have to think more about the group than everybody else, and they have to be able to make those hard decisions when nobody else can. That determines a good leader. That doesn't mean that that determines a right leader or a just leader, but that does make a good leader, or should I say a strong leader. The royal magic, a powerful magic passed down through generations of Ukrainian kings, invoked through a unique magic igniter called the Royal Scepter. It has tremendous power that can bring about anything the king desires. There are several records of its use in the long history of the kingdom, be it for revolutionary or oppressive aims, but each is described as a cataclysmic disaster. It continues to represent a strong, deterrent power to the royal family and the kingdom. Notice how they don't shy away from the fact that it has been used for revolutionary or oppressive aims. So whoever inherits this royal magic, and it seems like it needs to be passed down through generations of Ukrainian kings. So it has to be passed down. This is not a magic you can just pick up, or so it seems. Alright, resonant vessels. When an archetype's power causes a transformation, the first stage is that of the heart becoming a metallic object of unknown origin. To activate the power, the wielder must announce their determination and their hopes for it into their newly made heart, which urges the body to awaken. This outcry is akin to the battle cries of heroes past, who were known to call upon archetypes in the fact of danger. It could be said that the transformation makes the wielder an ideal vision of themselves. Basically shouting into that goddamn heart. What I was thinking, bro, Persona makes such good music. He misses the field goal? This game is rigged, bro. 2020? I think this is the song. It's not. Is it this one? Mm-mm. This is what I was thinking of. This is what they're just screaming into the mics. This part right here. Bruh. Alright. This nigga looks exactly like the main character from this fucking game. Tell me these niggas is not the same person, bruh. Tell me these is not the same person, bro. Tell me these are not the same person, bro. God damn. Let me not scroll too far. I don't want to see anybody's spoilers. A lot of people are getting into the game now because they realize how good it is. It's actually fucking phenomenal. Alright, what do we got left? A couple of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Talk about the people. Well, this is the history. I'm gonna talk about the people. There's a lot of people to talk about. Lots and lots and lots of people to talk about. A mysterious power that Zosar has awakened to, Shining Magla engulfs the entire body, transforming it into a giant figure reminiscent of a hero. It seems to be a sort of magic, but clearly not the same kind as the igniters issued by the army. Everything about it deviates from what is commonly known of magic. Donning a suit of armor, locking in, putting on this everything. Damn. Persona, you put on this mask to be someone you're not. Metaphor, you wear the suit of armor to hide yourself and pretend to be somebody else. And you don't even have to pretend to be. Maybe you just are that person, but I like that. And I know in Persona 3, because I've seen some of Rampage's gameplay, it's about like they end up shooting themselves in the head. So it's like killing your former self to become this new embodiment. These games are really good with that. Subtle. You wouldn't think it's subtle, especially with Persona 3, but it's subtle, but they do a good job. Academia, a mysterious room described by Moore as a hall of wisdom. Reminiscent of a researcher's study, the chamber is filled with all manner of objects rarely seen elsewhere, from books containing secret knowledge regarding archetypes to forbidden texts and tools which accurately map the movement of the stars among countless others. The Prince's Curse, the lingering malevolent magic sustained by the prince during his assault 12 years ago. At the time of the incident, great minds from all over the country attempted to break the curse, yet none were successful. Those who can see the flow of magma say it resembles poisonous briar vines entwined around the sleeping prince. Farsight Mirror, a mysterious-looking glass tinged with magic entrusted to Gallica by the Resistance for her secret mission. This pair of identical mirrors reflects the view of the other, no matter the distance separating them. Gallica possesses one half of the pair, while the other remains by the prince, allowing her to check on his condition at any time. Originally owned by the prince, it is a small item that is impossible to make with contemporary technology. Some believe it may in fact be a divine relic. An unusual variety of magic that causes the listener to become aware of their state of mind through the form of sound and music. As it is a modest form of magic with seemingly no utility on the battlefield, it is considered a meaningless, trifling skill in society and is thus rarely used. Okay. We'll go over the people. Yeah. Okay. The 9th tribe, distinct from the commonly known 8 tribes, they are condemned by the Sanctus Church for inheriting a dangerous magic heretical to the teachings of the church. Their population is so small that to even see one in public is rare. They face greater discrimination than any other tribe. In fact, many outside the main cities don't believe they even exist. God damn. Each of the 8 tribes possess unique physical traits, making them recognizable at a glance, such as the Clemmer's horns or the Resonant's long ears. The Elder tribe, however, bear no such distinguishing features and thus are regarded as inferior beings. The Clemmer tribe. The Clemmer tribe composes the largest population in all the allied kingdoms. Their most distinctive features are the horns which grow on both sides of their head. Clemmers have a broad diversity of facial and body types, which has essentially made them average. The Ukrainian royal family are Clemmor, and members of this tribe hold a majority of important positions within the government, leading many Clemmers to internalize the belief that they are the kingdom's most preeminent tribe. Clemmer value freedom and dislike illogical restraint. They enjoy cultivating discussion, but do not always consider the situation or appropriateness of doing so, which occasionally leads to conflict. However, some studies suggest this disposition is what drives them to seek governmental positions and other important offices. I don't even know how to say that. The Ruzante? I'm gonna call it the Ruse. The Ruse tribe. One of the most populous tribes of the UK, second only to the Clemmer. Long, pointed ears are their most distinguishing features. They often boast excellent physiques, which has given them superior martial prowess. Ruse women are stronger than most men of their tribes. Many inevitably work in the military and often hold key offices. They are considered as influential as the Clemmer, and the two tribes are sometimes called the prevailing tribes. Many Ruse pride themselves on outperforming others in strength. While this can be perceived as a self-disciplined competitiveness, on the flip side, there are many with belligerent temperament obsessed with proving superiority in any situation. Superiority complex. Not good. Not good at all. Parapus tribe. A tribe recognizable by bestial ears and a tail. There are many variations in their hair and skin colors, including cold-colored skin not seen in other tribes. They are physically adept and often honest with their emotions, giving them a reputation for hedonism, for better or for worse. They are drawn to parties and festivities, and while this happy-go-lucky charm is often to their credit, it can also be seen as recklessness. Due to this stereotype, they are looked down upon by other tribes, which prevents them from securing a foothold in politics despite being nearly as populous as the Ruse and Clemmer tribes. The discrimination against them is especially obvious in large cities. Okay, the Rogue tribe. A tribe whose members have longer lifespans, some living more than twice as long the average of other tribes. They age at the same pace until adolescence, spending the remainder of their lives in middle and old age. Perhaps as a result, the Rogue tribe conjures images of the elderly in many minds. In the seniority-based society, rogues often hold high positions due to their longevity. They place great value in eventually passing down their knowledge and purpose, so much so that they're known to remember favors as well as hold grudges for 3 generations. Though many rogue have unique markings on their face, they are not born with them. They are a form of traditional makeup. Nice. Prince of Uchronia. The son and heir to the throne of King Heathlodaeus V. More than 10 years ago, a mysterious attack in the royal palace left him afflicted with a deadly curse. The curse took its toll on his body, and though he barely endured treatment, his recovery was interrupted several years later when he and his closest aides suddenly vanished from the castle without a trace. The king exhausted all possible means to find him, but was ultimately unsuccessful. He was formally declared deceased 3 years ago, and a royal funeral was held in his honor. Formally, but not for real, for real. Okay, we know about Gallica. Gallica's our gal. Gallica tried to stay resolute as Zosar's chaperone, but as he gets involved in unexpectedly intense battles, she begins to doubt her role in the grand scheme of things. However, with the fairy's unique ability to deflect anxiety, she does her best to help the protagonist in whatever way she can. Deflecting anxiety is fucking crazy. What? Leon Stroll, a young man of the Clemmer tribe, met at the recruitment center in Grand Trad. A genial youth. Damn, I don't know why I struggle with that. I kept trying to say gen and it's G. He caught that? Wow. Goddamn bills might get cooked. A genial youth who values justice with a good head on his shoulders. He comes from a noble family but seems to have complex circumstances that lead him to enlist in the army, typically a commoner profession. Though new recruits grumble at being ordered to refer to each other by their surnames in order to prevent overfamiliarity, Stroll doesn't seem to mind. The son of the noble family of Halia, a village that was destroyed by a human. Now that he has lost his home and family, he has only his pride to redeem himself from the shallowness of his past. Alright, Vegeta. Delay of game. Greece. Arvid Greece, a veteran rogue warrior and resistance member alongside Zosar and Gallica. The infiltrated the ranks of the army and has been working as a covert operative. Gallica was entrusted with delivering secret orders to him. Fordham. Who the fuck is this? A Stephen Fordham, the 78th Sanctum of the Sanctus Church, the state religion of the United Kingdom. He holds the highest authority within Sanctism and, as such, is the leader of the Crown Theocracy. Despite hailing from the Rogue tribe, rather than the more common Clemmer or Rouge tribes, he enjoys a broad base of support. In the turmoil following the sudden death of the previous king, many view him as something of an interim king, given his position as the leader of the moderate faction. Luis Goyaburn, a Clemmer royal army officer of great renown who managed to become nobility at an exceptionally young age. He possesses extraordinary skills as both a warrior and an archmage, but even more highly regarded as his capabilities as a military strategist, for which his superior insight and grasp of psychology set him apart. His faculties as a young soldier were so shrewd that his own allies came to grow wary of him, calling him monster in the making. He prizes rationality above all else, strictly adhering to a policy of appointing officers by their capabilities alone, without regard for tribe or origin. As a result, senior officials accuse him of trying to undermine tradition. However, he now wields an influence far beyond a typical officer, and many believe he will be the youngest person ever to be appointed the Army's highest ranking position of general. Captain Klinger, my go! Even though you try to set us up, still my guy. The captain in charge of new recruits at the recruitment center, a short, portly, unsoldierly man, watch your mouth, called an incompetent fool by Stroll after an attack on the fort led him to order new recruits to the front lines in a panic. Or so he made it seem. In actuality, he is a fervent supporter of Luis, and had always planned to take a mass of new recruits to die at the hands of humans in order to demonstrate his support of Luis' assertions. And that word. Missed another field goal. What the fuck? They're getting cooked right now. He keeps missing field goals. And enigmatic. That's such a hard word to pronounce. And enigmatic. It sounds like I'm saying egg-nig. And enigmatic young man imprisoned in a peculiar study called academia. He first contacted Zosar during a particularly trying moment by somehow linking their consciousness. Though he is undoubtedly an ally, many mysterious surround him, such as his knowledge that igniters are not essential to magic or his profound expertise on archetypes. Moore's pet cat who lives in academia with him. He doesn't necessarily resemble the animal called cats that exists elsewhere. The strange charm hanging around his neck, a type of magical igniter according to Moore, allows for visions of him to be projected outside of academia. A general term for those who have good command over magic. Formally, it refers to those who have achieved a national qualification to professionally use magic. However, as many commoners have difficulty discerning those who are firmly qualified, this catch-all term rose to prominence. There are several tiers of magic certification, with the majority being for low-tier artisans, engineers, and soldiers, which limit the type and usage of magic. However, some professions have fewer restrictions, such as magic professors and healers. The higher the tier of certification, the more difficult it is to obtain. Few in the kingdom hold the highest tier, and one bearer alone can influence nations. Okay, traveling peddler, and then we're back to the Elder Tribe. And then there's history. Take a little break. Talking a lot non-stop. So what we learned here is that there's 9 tribes, right? people don't even consider the Elder being a tribe though, so they're fairly rare. We've been introduced to 4 out of the 9, right? Technically 5 out of the 9, but we'll do 4 because we're gonna say 4 out of the 8, so half of them. We'll take the Elder tribe and put them elsewhere because of how rare they are. But there's 9 tribes, but we'll say 8. Clemmer has the horns, Rose has the ears, the Parapists are like the animals, the beasts, and the rogues are just people who live way longer, and they end up putting markings on their face to signify. Forden is like the Pope, basically. I don't think I'm missing too much anything else. I'm gonna save the history for a little bit. I want to start playing, so. More, you can't keep summoning us every fucking night. I know you're lonely, but bro, please.
I'm pretty sure I fell asleep.
Well, then it's just as I thought. While you're asleep, our connection is much stronger. You wield your magic with ever more confidence. Splendid. As I mentioned previously, the archetype grows and develops anew through encounters with others.
Imagine going to sleep, somebody goes, yeah, we're more connected while you sleep. First of all, why? Second of all, why do you think as I'm trying to go to sleep, I want to hear more of your bullshit? Brother, I'm tired. I'm trying to go to bed.
Look for those bearing the nobility and presence of the heroes and kings of old. More virtuous than the weight of any crown or medal is the burden you place on your own path forward. The more comrades and supporters who stand beside
you, are you calling me out because I'm a masochist?
The more your power will deepen as you soar to new heights. One day, if the people join hands and seize the freedom to decide their own future with their own power just as you do, that is my ideal world.
Hold on. What do you mean, supporters? We're trying to keep out of the public eye here.
You know what I haven't even thought about? The fact that we're trying to what Moore has written is an ideal world, and it inadvertently has become my goal through this playthrough. That's also Moore's goal, I guess. If that's the book he wrote, that's what he seeks.
I mentioned
just thought I'd point that out there.
There is no hero without allies, only a single voice in opposition. In other words, even archetypes have their own strengths and weaknesses. They'll be of little use if used thoughtlessly. Life and death are seconds apart on the battlefield. Be attentive, mindful, and strategic. Only then can you emerge victorious. When you feel unsure how to proceed, I recommend you stop, assess your surroundings, and think. The smallest observation is often our greatest inspiration. Well, it's almost dawn. I will be watching with great anticipation.
You talk to me all fucking night.
Until we meet again. The royal funeral draws ever closer. 4 days remain. Good.
The king's funeral is coming up, is it not? We should hurry back to Grand Trad. Well, we're just getting out of the mine, so we need to catch a carriage soon if you want to make it to the royal capital. Can't wait any longer. You ready? I'm fucking ready, man. I'm locked in.
Let's move out.
Escaping the dragon's threat in the Nord mines, the party shakes their pursuers amidst the discovery of great powers. To make up for lost time, they risk hiring a coach to secret them the rest of the way to the capital. The royal funeral draws ever closer. 2 days remain.
So it takes us 2 days to get to the capital?
Finally, we found a ride. Looks like we should make it in time for the funeral after all.
Or does it take us 2 days to find a ride?
Carriage, it was hit by bandits. A pack of Louise zealots too, if I remember. Talk about a nasty surprise.
You've come a ways since then. Any bandits who set on us now are in for a nasty surprise.
Reminds me of the road to the fort. Sitting there in the cart. Never could have imagined you and I would be the only survivors. Strange. How fast life can change. You okay? Unfortunately, I'd not had time to put any names to faces. Don't even know the name of the Roussant fellow we talked down.
The last couple days have certainly been eventful. Almost feels like everything we thought we knew about the world was wrong.
Well, plenty of people live their lives without taking a single step outside their city. But we haven't the luxury of ignorance, I suppose.
We're almost to the capital. Quiet now, and stay sharp.
Milady, welcome back, and thank you for making the trip.
After so long, I am only surprised anyone remained here who yet remembered me.
Surely you jest, milady.
Pay me no mind. I heard of the king's death. The skyline is full of unfamiliar figures. 'Tis a testament to how long I've been away.
It's the guard that's changed the most. It's just chaos and politics there, arguing over matters of succession. Feels like we've lost sight of who we're even protecting. Not to mention talk of monsters at the border. We've nowhere near enough soldiers to deal with them on top of everything else.
After tomorrow, the city will calm. Once the formality of the funeral is past, a new king will be crowned. After which, I suppose there'll be no further need of a search party. Not many even remember we were searching in the first place.
The royal funeral draws ever closer. 1 day remains.
Oh, does she herself not know that the king has been, the prince has been taken somewhere else? Well, not that...
Escaping the Nord mines.
Not that she doesn't know, but maybe she doesn't...
And returns now.
She wasn't told the whereabouts. She knows that he's not here, but she doesn't know where.
As they gaze upon the city, flags of mourning fluttering in the wind, the magnitude of their mission exacts its toll on the heart.
The fog's rolling in. Rain's the last thing we need.
Can this funeral withstand more misfortune? I've heard they don't have enough soldiers to keep the peace.
No, it'll be fine. All the aristocrats are bringing their own personal guards. I imagine boredom's the worst we need to worry about.
Let's not draw attention to ourselves. There's a hostelry tucked at the back of Sunshade Row, the Hushed Honeybee Inn. We'll talk details once we're there.
Here we go.
That's terribly unfair.
Why is there Elda in this sacred capital? Okay, back here again. The fuck is this?
Hey!
What's this then? You come to pick this one over too? Hate to tell you, but he's got nothing worth taking.
You are?
Safe? You're not telling me you're worried about him. Wasting your time, lad, wasting your time. Got nothing better to do with yourself then. I think somebody moves him along during the day, but come night, he's always around these parts moaning like a ghoul. Waste of sympathy. Try and look out for these types. Not exactly a rare sight in town.
All right then.
That's the end of this thing.
Okay, so a little bit more lore about the city. There's a man. Oh, he said no detour, motherfucker. There's a man that just lays in the middle of the street, I guess, at night. And this is like his routine, I guess. Okay, made the field goal. Did not read what he said. Oh, could it be? You're an elder, correct? My, I've never seen one of your kind. I assume you're not from these parts. Tell me, do you hail from outside the city? I see. I must admit, I'm quite jealous of you, elder. Traveling outside of the city is the most dangerous venture. Unless you have a gauntlet runner, that is. Well, if this is your first time here, I must warn you to stay on your guard. This city's denizens can be somewhat unwelcoming towards people of your tribe.
Just pathetic.
Heard. An elder? How pitiful. And if I drop kicked you in your chest, what would you do, huh?
Just pathetic.
That's a second person that we're now seeing just laying on the ground.
I just want some coin.
Seems like they have some shady stuff going over here. So this is Sunshade Row. Seems a fine place to disappear from prying eyes. But where's the inn? You suppose we should ask around? I don't think asking around is a good idea, but... Yo, he looks... This doesn't look like regular death, bro. This looks crazy.
Do you need something?
The Hushed Honeybite Inn? Only bad sorts of folks in there, you know? Well, go at your own risk. I won't stop you. You know the narrow alley behind the right side of the gallows? Go down there. Go down that, and there'll be some stairs. It's at the end of the way. That accursed landlord. Told him my mother comes tomorrow and he still springs all this work on me. Hey, you. Fancy a riddle? Where is one sure to find the kind-hearted in this country? No idea. Right up on these gallows there. Yes, the people hanging there are good, virtuous people. A true villain never faces judgment, no matter their crimes. By the way, you're not from the city, the capital, are you? What brings you to this cesspool of a city?
Yeah.
Ah, the honeybee. What business might one have there? He said on the right, there's some steps. Take a look at the map, though. I wish it would let me zoom in. I can't read shit that's there.
Where to?
When will the next execution be? Oh, I can't wait. The last Nydia was a sight to behold. It's not often you get to see such pathetic howling. Alright, you motherfuckers have problems.
Got a moment?
Shop in front of the gallows. Do I think they do well? Probably. Probably sell crazy merch too.
Alright then. Idiot peasants.
Out of my sight, filthy little Edla. Someone's shouting from upstairs, but don't let it get to you. You haven't done anything wrong. Rat's about to eat that ass. Another... Multiple people look fucking terrible, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Crowd on this street looks pretty rough.
Watch.
What is it?
Will they say someone watch out for something?
Oi, you there?
What are you doing here? This ain't a place for a guy of your stature. Hold on, an elder? I see, so that's why. Take a look around, mate. The people who gather here have a little something in common. An elder like you, therapists like us, I won't pry, but it's safe to say we've all been through the ringer. We have. Greece, we heard all the soldiers at the fort got annihilated, but not you. I see. You stubborn old bastard. About that. Hey, don't worry. Nearly all of Sunshade Rose in your debt. None of us here will go running our mouths now.
This place.
Got it.
You're back.
Oh,
Welcome home.
Papa.
Well, hello, my Maria.
Papa.
I trust you've been staying out of trouble. These are...
Greece, your shorty is bad as a
new
motherfucker.
recruits. Just enlisted.
So young. It's good to meet you. I'm Fabienne. This inn is my business and my home. Manners, Maria.
Welcome.
Hey, I'm wasting away over here. Where's my order?
Maria, could you handle that?
Yes, right away.
You're back sooner than I thought. Something happened.
Something bad. Barely any survivors.
I see.
I didn't know Greus had a daughter.
I know I've already asked so much of you, but... would you mind looking after Maria a little while longer?
Of course. It wouldn't be the honeybee without her.
Now, as for the rest of you, after braving the frontiers with this curmudgeon, I'm sure you would welcome a warm supper.
Once we're done, we'll head upstairs.
I'm trying to have her head upstairs right now. What are we talking about?
It's so good.
That does look good.
Oh, spicy. I can't feel my tongue.
Oh, pipe down and eat, boy.
That was delicious, especially the meat. I wasn't expecting it to have such a kick, but it grows on you fast.
Red grass
Strolls like a little kid.
Bird meat. One of her hometown specialities. She's risked a lot to shelter me and to help the resistance. I owe her more than I can say.
You said we were short-handed, but are we really the only ones?
I know we've plenty of independent agents fighting in their own ways, but it seems none could avail themselves to us, which means we're the only ones who can do this.
Still, killing Luis. That's not going to be an easy feat.
Not in the slightest.
Fill us in.
How are we going to be able to get this
Midway through
done?
the funeral, in broad daylight. That's insane.
It's risky, to be sure, but we'll never find a better chance at confronting the man directly.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to catch him lacking. This is the only time to do
To
that.
draw Luis's attention from a different location. All I need is an opening.
He wants to do it himself. He's got a vendetta. It's going to fuck us up.
It'll attract too much attention. Killing a man and slaying a beast are two very different things. This is all I need.
You're joking. You and that kitchen knife against an archmage. Isn't there anything we can do to help?
No, you're just getting in the way. Besides, this kitchen knife can slit his throat like the swine he is. A fast kill, if not a clean one. It's nothing I've not done before. Give me my opening, and the man's dead.
I don't know about this.
I really don't know about this.
Stop fussing. Leave it to me. One last thing. Keep Maria company a while, would you? The girl gets lonely on her own.
Aren't you at least going to tuck her in?
I've got to prepare tonight. Too much still needs doing. And best that it's done as far from her as possible.
And there's his fatherly side, I suppose. Sorry, but I'm going to bed early. I need a full night's rest if I don't want to be a liability.
Well, we've all been short on time to ourselves, but I'd feel bad leaving Maria all alone. Shall we go check in on her, at least?
Of course.
Look at that.
Hey.
After nothing but the hard ground of campsites, I'm looking forward to sleeping tonight. You can handle Grease Starter, can't you? Yes, I can. I can faintly hear the hustle and bustle of the city from beyond the closed shutters. Door is locked. No one seems to be inside in this guest room. Does this room belong to Maria's daughter, Maria? It doesn't look like it's a guest room. Okay, let's head downstairs, I guess. See what the shorty had to say.
Please enjoy your stay.
Reese and I go some ways back. Please make yourselves at home.
Did you need something?
I was thinking we could play a game.
Play a game? But it's already nighttime. Oh, I just remembered. Papa said you have a strange book, and that I should ask to see it.
You like books, huh?
Well, I haven't ever seen one before, so I was wondering what they're like.
Do you know how to read?
Just a little.
Well, since you're here, let's all read it together, okay?
Really? Oh, but I still have work to do.
Don't worry, Maria. I can handle this crowd. You have fun reading upstairs.
Really?
Yes. You did a very good job today.
Let's read then.
Reading with Maria in the late night.
There's so many pictures.
Very cute.
Are all books like this?
Not all.
Miss Fabienne taught me how to read a little. She said it helps with keeping the inn running.
Mm-hmm. Reading anything's really good for you. Helps with the imagination.
That's pretty impressive that you know how to read.
Well, I can't do lots of hard words, but I like learning new ones. Plus, I like when people say I'm clever, so I've got to work really, really hard. Papa always says not to go into his room, so I wait for him a lot. I'm good at waiting.
That's sad.
You're a strong girl, Maria.
I know Papa's always busy with work, but I'm happy when he comes home. Thank you. It was fun talking to you.
Let's do this again sometime.
Really? You don't mind talking to me?
Not at all, Maria.
Then it's a promise. You're helping Papa with his job, aren't you? So, be safe. I've heard his job can be really dangerous.
She must be feeling anxious herself, but she's still concerned from the bottom of her heart about our safety. I feel comforted by Maria's kindness.
Pure-hearted maiden, Maria. Within her dwells the virtue
Interesting.
of the healer. Nurture thy bond with her, and a new power yet slumbering within thee may awaken.
Thank you.
The party can now study the healer. Damn, just watch Aaron Rodgers sell. I can sense the heroic embodiment of the healer from Maria. You can now study the healer in academia. What a fucking interception.
I wonder if Papa will stay for longer this time. It'd be sad if he had to leave right away.
It'll be sad if he dies, yep.
I'm sure it'll work out.
Okay. I think I'll try to read a little bit more, and then I'll go find Miss Fabienne and go to bed.
Okay, Miss Fabienne's not her mother, which means she's single, which means I can smash.
Alright. I'll try to read this part now. In this country, the something king hears the voices of the city and protects their way of life. What's this say?
Society's purpose is to protect its citizens. This is a basic principle of this utopia. All are equal, all live in safety, and the rich and poor are as one. With no gaps, no conflict. All are friends, deserving of help. Basically, it's a place where there's no fighting, and everyone always gets along.
Wow. Where is this place? No one gets left alone there, right? I wish I could go. Can I read a little more?
We're probably not going to bed anytime soon.
When the book is that good, I get it. I understand.
As dawn breaks, so begins the procession to the Grand Cathedral.